defender of all the Irish issues in Congress. We never thought that the mantle of helping and protecting and working with the Irish would fall to a Jewish guy from Brooklyn. What can I say? Ted Kennedy would be very proud of the job that Senator Charles Schumer has done for the Irish. He's been amazing. And the very fact that he would come here on his time off tonight, just after landing at LaGuardia, he came straight here. He's the third most senior ranking Democrat in the US Senate. He's a man who has worked so hard, for, not only on Irish issues, but I'm sure, as you know, on issues reflecting Superstorm Sandy. He's been a tremendous friend of the Irish, particularly lately on the issue of the undocumented Irish. Young Irish who have nowhere to go in America because they can't be legal. And I'd like you to give him a great breezy point way welcome. Would you welcome please Senator Charles Schumer?
Thank you, Neil. Great to be here, back in Breezy. You know, I told people I was here earlier in the week, we were pushing to pass the flood insurance bill, which will prevent people from paying thousands of dollars for their flood insurance. We passed it tonight. Thank you. So that's my gift to you. Now the rates won't go up. I mean, it was so devastating. People spent to rebuild their homes. They had to borrow, they had to find money every little place. And then all of a sudden they get hit with a flood insurance bill for $5,000 when they were paying $500. It was an outrage. So anyway, we passed it tonight and I came straight here for you. Thank you. Second thing I want to say, I want to thank Neil and Debbie and Guinness. I was actually in Ireland this summer and had Guinness there, and it's almost as good here. Went all through the west of Ireland, my family and I. Didn't tell anyone. In fact, I got a call while we were while we were in County Mayo from the Taoiseach, said, "You didn't tell me you were here." I said, "That's right. We go by ourselves and we just see the people and had a great time, and it's such a beautiful country. Such a beautiful country, and there's no place that reminds me more of Ireland than Breezy in terms of everything, the weather and the camaraderie and everything like that. And I just love this place. I have loved it since I represented you as a congressman, and I love it even more now. And what happened after Sandy, when everybody pulled together, and I was there on so many days, was just amazing. And it spoke so well of the people here, and no one had ever had any doubt that we would come back. Nobody. And that wasn't because of any kind of help that we were able to get, and it's still too slow in coming through. And it wasn't because of anything the city or state did, it was because of you, the people. The people here look out for each other. The people here are strong. The people here are used to adversity and don't complain and just build back up. And that's what happened. And Breezy is going to be bigger and better and stronger than ever. So to you. Final point. Neil mentioned my love of the Irish and for Irish immigration, and that is true. I grew up in an Irish neighborhood in Marine Park, so I was very familiar. And a lot of my neighbors and friends would summer here in Breezy. In those days, there weren't too many people living full time. You know, I'm old. And anyway, so I always worked hard for Irish immigration. And I'll tell you two stories. The first one you probably heard. But Neil mentioned, how did a guy like me, when I got the award, the Hibernians gave me their Man of the Year award for doing all the work on Irish immigration. And I told them, only in America could the Hibernians Man of the Year award be named Schumer. And then I told them this story. You may have heard it. If you have, forgive me. But this is a true story. They introduced Ben Briscoe, Sir Ben Briscoe, to Yogi Berra. And they said, "Yogi, this is Sir Ben Briscoe. He is the Lord High Mayor of Dublin. In the 400 years there have been Lord High Mayors of Dublin. Sir Ben is the first one who's Jewish." Yogi put his arm around Sir Ben, put his arm around his shoulder, looked him in the eye and said, "Only in America." But here's the conclusion. Then I'll shut up and let you have a good time. so when I got the award, they said, you know, I said, why did I work so hard for the Irish in the previous visas and these visas, which will be permanent, we won't have to renew when we pass an immigration bill. In fact, Kieran is he's in Washington now, Kieran Stanton, despite the tragedy he faced, personal tragedy with the loss of his son, with 200 Irish Republicans knocking on doors to try and get the immigration bill through because it'll be so good for the Irish. And I put that provision in. And they asked me when I got the Hibernian Award, said, why do you work so hard for the Irish? And I said, it's not because when I first ran for assembly and no one thought I would win, that the Irish took me into their hearts and they voted for me. And Willie Joe Cunningham, you may remember him, he was very active in Marine Park and he was head of the Donegal Society. Wasn't because of that, even though that's true. I said, it's not because my entire staff is Irish, as you know. Martin Brennan, who is very active in Irish affairs, is my chief of staff here, and Mike Lynch is my chief of staff there, and they keep hiring more and more Irish on my staff, and I ask them, can't you hire a Jew once in a while? But it's not because my staff is Irish and work hard for me, but that's, even though that's true. And I said, it's not even because my sister is Fran Schumer McNulty, and my nieces and nephews are McNultys, although that is true. I said, the reason I work so hard for the Irish, and I want to bring more Irish into America, is very simple. I love America, and the more Irish there are in America, the better America it is. So to the Irish, to America, to the USA, may God bless them all on this St. Patrick's Day. Thank you very much, everyone.